Evening all, welcome back to Elite. Right, look what's happened here. Somebody's had a bit of an oopsie. You can't see that, I just showed it in the, I just realised the Elite logo was all over it, but somebody's dropped about, I don't know, 40, 50 cans of aluminum, or aluminium as we would say in the civilized world. Yeah, somebody must have just had a bad day and just literally, I guess, barrel rolled into the station and hit it a bit hard. So I thought, well, let's go and scavenge some of it because free money. But yeah, probably not my best idea, to be honest with you. I end up smacking the ship a bit hard. But anyway, so I just thought I'd show you this because it did make me smile that this is actually part of the game still, that you could have quite a successful run in the game, and then all of a sudden you end up getting completely stomped and something happens and you lose your ship. Now again, the game's running a bit of a pig, so hopefully it's not slowing down too much, but there was just an absolute ton of cargo out here. Now I did think to myself, oh, is this somebody who's being nice, who's maybe dumped it because they're nice? And the reality was no, actually there was somebody going around trying to pick it all up, which which made me smile. It really did. I got the impression it became a bit of a feeding frenzy towards the end as well. So there we go. Pretty funny stuff. These kind of starting stations. This is Starbound station, I believe, as well. So this is, yeah, this is a busy station, and this gets a bit Moss Eisley, if you know what I mean, around peak multiplayer times as well, because people are generally quite douchey in this game. I'm finding, so I think anything to kind of annoy people is quite taken. Look at that can did so much damage to me, ridiculous. Anyway, I gave up at that point because I realized, you know what, this is not worth the effort. Aluminium isn't that expensive, so yeah. But look how much there are, so many cans of it. It's a shame in a way, but yeah, somebody must have not had a good day when they lost all of that. But there we go. Anyway, let's go back to shooting stuff. Now, to be honest, oh no, I lied. It was Dahan. I thought it was Azerbaijan. Well, there you go. It was the freebooters, whatever it's called. I forget the name of it. The game is getting incredibly awesome just as you start to upgrade. This desire to upgrade is always prevalent. So as you play the game, you just think to yourself, do you know what? I'm playing now to get the beam laser. I'm playing now to get this. I'm playing now to get that. And that is exactly what the game should be. It's steps. It's stepped incremental steps which keep you engaged. So you're not always kind of thinking to yourself, right, I want an anaconda with everything da 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 da. You're actually thinking to yourself, well, my next step is to get a second pulse laser. My next step is to then get a beam laser, multi-cannons, maybe then get better armor. Then maybe once I've worked really hard, get an eagle. Then once I've got the eagle, start upgrading that. It's very, very nice, and that has always been an incredibly, that's a trademark of Elite, to be honest with you. That's really what David Braben actually pretty much said in his when he's spoken about Elite. He's actually spoken many times about that really being a driving force for the game, and I think, to be honest, it's missed. Not many games have that. I think when you look at Homeworld or similar games, yes, there's an upgrade tree, yes, there's kind of an unlock of ships tree as well, but never really to the same degree as this, because these are all so small steps that you barely realize you're taking them. It's not a case of unlocking a battleship and then spending 2 months doing it. It's different. It's you think to yourself, well, if I work a little bit harder, I could have this 10 minutes earlier. If I maybe put some effort in, I could maybe do a single trade run that will earn me this and that. So I like that. I think that's a real kind of, it inspires you to play, because you realize I don't have to invest days of my life to get one thing unlocked here, although you certainly could if you want to. So I think that is a wonderful, wonderful part of the game. There we go, just owned, using the Pyrex maneuver, just owned a Cobra. Those Cobras are pretty stupid now. I'm killing them just so easily. They're becoming ridiculously easy to kill. Chronologically, I think these videos are a little bit out of sync as well. I think I may have actually shown some footage a bit mixed up here, but there's a reason for that. I think it's just to show you really, I guess, what I've been up to since I figured out how to make some money. I am kind of trying to figure out further ways to make money. I think trading will be something I do, but I'm hoping that there's more. I mean, I guess once you've got a slightly bigger ship, mining might even be worth looking at. I mean, I can't imagine I'm going to have much fun mining, but even if it's just, I'll try it, I'll give it a go. because I think you've got to try everything, don't you? But having said that, I would probably imagine that the combat being so good as it is, although it is quite risky, you know, you're always risking your ship when you kind of do combat, the rewards can be quite good. So, you know, if you get a privilege of you being the only person in the conflict sites, you can do quite well. The only problem is you can be overwhelmed as well, so it's worth bearing that in mind. Plus, you can end up doing all the work on a ship and then one of the NPCs gets the end kill, which is slightly annoying. But again, you know, they support you when you're being overwhelmed. So it swings and roundabouts, as we would say. To be honest, you know, you have to just accept that that's the way it is. I'm always generally fine I'm doing low intensity. I probably should try high intensity, actually. I've not really thought about it, to be honest. This was earlier footage generally, so I think I've just unlocked my beam lasers, or rather my pulse lasers at this point. But I think I probably should give the high intensity a go. I suspect it's just going to be a lot more ships faster and furiously coming in, probably with more anacondas as well. You don't generally get many anacondas in this, which is a good thing because they are very, very tough ships. And you do need that backup, so yeah, but you know, we'll see. I think after a while as well, you can't really stay in these zones because eventually it gets to the point where more Iranian, in this case, or federal forces that are green, warp in, and then it's just like 5 or 6 or 7 ships versus 1 or 2 as they warp in, and it just becomes a bit of a slaughter. And you're not always going to get your money that way as well, so definitely worth considering. I just love it so much that I'm amazed at how much it has grabbed me. Over the episodes I've been playing this, you know, I think hopefully you're seeing a real kind of you know, passion being driven out here by me, because I've got to admit, as I did my first Elite montage, if you haven't checked it, go check it. It was fun, it was amazing, it was just, you know, glorious fun doing a montage of death and killing and stuff. I think this game is really, really getting, you know, under my skin now, and that's in a good way, and it's just so enjoyable. I was even sat, let me tell you a story. I was sat in a meeting at work, and it was a bloody boring one, literally just went on, and I just remember sitting there, and I had my notebook in front of me, and then no one was watching, and I just started drawing little triangles, and then I started, you know, just doodling away. And before I knew it, I'd drawn an entire space battle of Cobra Mark IIIs and lasers and explosions and death, and then me in the middle of it just literally spinning around like the last Starfighter when he activates the Doom Flower maneuver or whatever it was he called it. And it was just literally, I'd drawn that on my notebook, and I just thought, that is brilliant, I love it. I should have kept it, but I actually had to throw it away because many reasons. Somebody, I don't know, long story, I'll tell you another time. But yeah, it was funny really, because, you know, you do kind of when a game gets under your skin like that, it is a lovely feeling, because you just start to think about it, and you think to yourself, do you know what, if I did that, and maybe if I do that, and oh yeah, maybe I should give that a go, and you know, I must try and learn a bit more about flight assist and and after a while you realize, yeah, this game has got you. It is the blue crystal meth, and you're on it. Meth boy. And I do like that feeling sometimes. It is lovely to immerse yourself in a game as well, and I think Elite is going to be a great game to do that, because, you know, as long as you don't mind having periods where you're just not shooting everything that moves, and you actually load up supplies, you warp into the distance, into the sunset, and you go and try and find your riches. And that could be, you've got a mining laser maybe, and a few normal weapons, and you go to find gold, or you go to find platinum, or you go to find something incredibly valuable. If you're the kind of player who can do that, then you are going to have a hell of a time in this game. Honestly, you're going to have an amazing time. And that, to me, is what I think I'm most looking forward to. The ability just to go into space where you know that you're so far away from the nearest base that your wits is what's going to keep you alive. So it's the old frontier prospects men who went into the wilds, not really understanding the dangers, not really understanding what was there. And they learned, and they adapted, and they survived. And they were able to survive almost on nothing. And they then found their riches and came back, and, you know, they were changed men for doing it. But that is what I hope this game taps into. So, you know, a noob loads up their ship and disappears off into the big wide yonder, and they come back a grizzled, tough and rich player because they find valuables and riches. That would be amazing. I think if they could even just hook into the tiny little element of that they would have an absolute gold card certain hit on their hands. And I think it'd just be amazing. Plus, I love the idea of piracy. I really do. I know people are going to... I mean, because again, I'm being a good boy at the moment. But when I'm ready and when I've got the money, I am going to become an absolute bastard pirate. Because to be honest, there is the only fun part in this game is going to be PvP. That feeling of... like, it's like War Thunder. If, you know, War Thunder was all NPCs, it'd be a bit boring. Whereas PvP in War Thunder is very good because it is proper... fighter to fighter dogfighting combat, and I'm hoping that this game is exactly the same as that. Well, I know it will be. It will be just amazing. Just a look at my kills. I'm actually, this is really old footage, so apologies for that. I just realised, I mean, I'm on 50 plus kills now, so I must be showing you quite older stuff. But it just shows you again the way that I do this is I set aside an hour or two. And I've been doing this while I've been watching the football, actually. It's the World Cup at the moment, so I've actually just been sat watching the odd football game. And all I do is I just put the football on one screen and I play Elite on the other. And I've got to admit, before I know it, the game's ended and I'm like, oh, who won? And that's quite funny to me. I think that's quite that's quite amusing. But I've got to admit, I do think I guess the passive nature of the game is very enjoyable indeed. And I think, to be honest, you know, once I've got a better ship, I think I could just run and fight for a while, or I could probably just sit and watch a film and then go and do some trading. Because, you know, I know that every so often I'm going to have to really pay attention. But the reality is this game is going to become a very, very engaging shooter, but also one that you can do quite passively as well, which is a great thing. That is a good thing, seriously. And it's like Black and White. Do you remember the old game Black and White? That game people didn't realise, but the only way to play that game is to get your villages self-sufficient and then leave the computer on overnight with it playing, and you come back and find your creature had grown to like a giant, and it was trained and it was able to. It was like literally just running the game for you. And I think that was just excellent. I loved everything about that. I think if they can do something similar in this game, so you can kind of, you know, play it relatively passively, so you could go explore, and then you could just sit with your, you know, your kind of silent running mode engaged in space, you know, while you do other stuff, then that's going to be so good. It really is. I hope they take multiplayer very seriously, because I think most people will want to play this with the knowledge that there are other players out there, and also very good players out there. Now, I don't know anything about the server architecture, so post in the comments if you do. I mean, I can only assume that there's multiple servers, so we're not all on one server. I think it must be just that you join and it's a crapshoot who you get. But post in the comments if I'm wrong or right about that. I would love to see. I'd love to see more, you know, more kind of detailed specs on it. Really, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like Eve, where you'll have the ability to be, you know, all right, everyone log in and meet up at Dahan on the sun. You know, I doubt that'll happen, but I could be wrong. You never know. You know, that would be pretty awesome if you could. Having said that, I think that's going to be massively open to abuse as well. So here we go. Fighting Cobra Mark III. It's such a shame, really. It's kind of annoying that I can't get them to eject and then steal their ship in a way, but there we go. I don't really want to have to earn 111,000 credits to buy one. That's quite disappointing to me. That it's going to take me a long time to get that up. So post in the comments, how on earth did you get your Cobra Mark III? Seriously, is there a cheat? Is there a quick way to do it? I'm not going to cheat, though, don't get me wrong. So if there is a cheat, maybe don't tell me that. I don't want to cheat. I want to earn it. But at the moment, getting 500 credits per kill seems a bit... well, it seems like it's a lot of work. That's almost like 200 kills to get the ship, right? 200 kills? Yeah, it's about that. It's about 230 kills, something like that. But you know, who's got time for that? So I guess if you know a better way to make money, let me know. It could be trading. I mean, there are some quite high value trading items, so maybe I'll look at that again. But here we go, we're doing the Pyrex maneuver again. Oh no, we're running, but that's also the Pyrex maneuver, by the way, because my shield went down. Beautiful, lovely energy control functions, and it's so central to the game. It's like if you're not doing it, you're actually a worse pilot for not doing it. So, you know, being able to control your energy at the flick of a switch, and that whole mindset is just critical to the game. So there, for example, I had to boost away, so I put all my power into the engines and then boosted away, and then I put all my power into the system to get the shield to recharge quicker. Just simple stuff, but very effective indeed. And I always seem to have trouble with these fighters. These fighters are weak as piss, but I tell you what, if they get a good shot on you and they get a good run at you, they do a lot of damage. But there we go. To be honest, I think, you know, we're gonna have to see how we make serious money in the next few videos. So join us again next time as we once again try and earn mega bucks. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.